Ah, man. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a tough one, man. This was a tough one, man. You cannot make this shit up. New York Giants fall to 0-2. Fall to 0-2 in a crazy ass hard fought disappointing loss to the Dallas Cowboys. We're 0-2. Giants 37, Cowboys 40. We got to talk about some things, man. We got to talk about some things. This your guy who was never lying, sometimes defiant. TP Way the Giant, man. Let's let this intro rock, and let's have therapy for a little minute.
I felt there was no better athlete on that field than me. I was the best athlete on the field, and in order to win, you have to beat me. If you can't beat me, then you can't win.
I tell you right now, you know everybody gonna watch this ass whoop I put on you, right?
It's your guy who is never lying, sometimes defiant. It's a way to Giants.
And he put both feet down on the ground, and then he came out of the pile. This ball's thrown, and Tyree, that may be the greatest catch I've ever seen. And he lobs it, Burris alone, touchdown New York.
All right, man. I don't see myself crashing out this go around. I really don't. There are some things, man, that is definitely super frustrating, but for the most part, you know, if I have to really give y'all a true, you know, analysis on how I feel, is ultimately what I seen today was what I expected more for the New York Giants to look like. Excuse me. So there's some things, man. Of course, we're gonna have some conversation about some things, man. Overall, you know, there's a quote that plays in my head that my brother once told me, man, and it just replays over and over in my head. He said, "A bad team will always find a way to lose. A bad team will always find a way to lose." This was a tough one, man. Let's read some stats. Russell Wilson went 30 for 41, 451 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Cam Scatterbo, 11 carries, 45 yards, and a touchdown. Russell Wilson on the ground also had 3 carries for 23 yards. Tyrone Tracy Jr., not really active, man. 5 carries and 14 yards. We'll get into that. Malik motherfucking Neighbors, man. Motherfucking Neighbors. I will say this, man. We got a dog, man. We have a dog, and we have one of the best receivers who is on trajectory of being the best receiver in the game in Malik Neighbors. We'll talk more about that, man. But 9 receptions, 160 yards, and 2 touchdowns, man. Phenomenal performance by this guy, Malik, man. Wan'Dale Robinson, who I've talked about, you know, doing my, you know, Big Blue crossover with the Juke earlier this morning. 8 receptions, 142 yards, and a touchdown himself. Darius Slayton, 2 receptions, 61 yards. Paulson Adebo, 11 tackles. Andrew Phillips, 1 interception, 8 tackles, 3 assists. So yeah, that is all I'll probably read for us. Let me read the sack line here. Kayvon Thibodeau with a sack. Brian Burns with a sack. Elijah Garcia in the mix, man, got himself a sack. Let's talk about it, man. Should we start with the good? Should we start with the not so good? I think my mind and heart, man, is telling me to start with the good. We're gonna start with the good. Let's talk about our quarterback and Danger Russ Wilson, man. Danger Russ Wilson. This isn't an I told you so moment, but this is an I told you so moment. We be so quick to give up on players. So quick to give up on players. Because this fan base doesn't do its due diligence on looking at the total picture of things and giving a true analysis without your feelings involved. Russell Wilson today, man, had himself one hell of a game, man. Russell Wilson definitely deserves the flex bomb, man. I mean, he really showed the league that he's just not done yet, man. This was Seattle Seahawk Russell Wilson. This was Russell Wilson with a giant heart. 451 yards and 3 touchdowns on the day. The moon ball, deep ball, whatever you want to call it, was in full effect today. And I'm doubling down on what I have been telling these Giant fans that just don't know shit. Stop giving up on certain players so early because you fail to do your research. Your research. A better job ultimately by the offensive line, but which allowed Russell Wilson, and better play calling offensively, we'll get into that, which allowed Russell Wilson to look like how he did. I don't really have a knock on Russell Wilson outside of the fact that when it is in overtime and we are in a predicament to where we need you to win the game, we gotta have just better decision making. Better decision making. But ultimately, I am not knocking Dangerous Wilson, man. One hell of a game. One hell of a game. And to be honest with you, that forcing Jackson Dart to get in the game and do certain things, man, it was annoying. I understood what they were doing, but they overcooked their grits with that whole thing, man. And a lot of that is because, man, this New York Giant fan base is pushing for some shit that we don't have to push for right now. Can we please stop pushing for a Jackson Dart start? Can we please not do that? Because I'm in the belief that because this fan base is doing that, and because, the media is doing that, because of that, that is why I feel like this coaching staff is folding and forcing us to put Jackson Dart in situations that is not even called for. Honestly. There's some positions on this team that I want us to make a decision and go ahead with that decision. Make a decision and go ahead with that decision. Quarterback is one of them. Also, left tackle is another one of them. James Hudson should never be in the starting lineup. He should never be in the starting lineup. I don't know what took Coach Dable so long to get his ass up off the field. But this is another clear viewing where the fans have been saying, put Marcus Minbo in. What is the holdup? Put Minbo in. Put Minbo in. And look at what Minbo looks like. Another funk flex bomb from Minbo. Absolutely beautiful first game of his NFL career. The fan base has been preaching for that. Why can't this coaching staff see it? I don't understand. What was the holdup? We've been telling this coaching staff, listen, put Evan Neal at guard. Put Evan Neal at guard. He clearly looks better at guard. What was the holdup? The disheartening thing, man, about this coaching staff is that a lot of times we just don't do the obvious. The obvious things we do not do. So people can sit here and they can talk about, oh, man, it's easier for you to do it on Madden, and in real life it's not the same. No, actually, Actually, no, I'm pushing back on that. I'm pushing back on that. Because a lot of this shit that I would just handle on Madden if I was the coach. If I was running shit, a lot of these adjustments, I would just go ahead and put it in play. And if we did that on the field, it would look a lot different. There will be a lot of different situations. So I argue that it is actually that easy and simple. It is. But I'm going to stay on the positive. Another Funk Flex bomb for Cam Scatterbo, a.k.a. Cam Skedaddle. Got to give it to the man. Got to give it to the man. I think I seen something on Twitter. I don't want to put a name to this because I don't want to charge this man of making this tweet if he didn't make it. But Tyrone Tracy Jr. spoke up about the decision making in our Week 1 matchup. I don't know if that had something to do with the lack of carries that Tyrone Tracy Jr. has had. We will never know, and we can't really argue it at this point in time because ultimately, Cam Skedaddle had himself a great game, man. Everything that I have been saying about Cam Skedaddle, we finally did it. We finally utilized him the appropriate way, and we seen the results of it. Thank you for the clear-cut adjustments. Again, the stuff that I view as obvious. The stuff that I view as obvious, we finally did. We used them in the red zone. We used them in short yardage situations. We'd allow Cam Skedaddle, man, to play his game and be that physical game wrecker. And you could tell this defense got tired of that shit. You get tired of tackling Cam Skedaddle over and over, man. His effort is a relentless effort. That is what I want to see from a New York Giant team, man. And Cam Skedaddle is not the only one. We'll get into it, but I absolutely love what Cam Skedaddle does on this football field. He's not. I don't care about this is why I preach what I preach. I don't care about the stats all of the time. Cam Skedaddle had 11 carries on the ground and 45 yards. That doesn't tell you, it doesn't give you the just due and tell you just how good of a game Cam Skedaddle really had. It doesn't. That's why I preach what I preach about stats. Phenomenal game by Cam Skedaddle. I think it's time to talk about it, man. I think it's time to talk about it. Malik motherfucking Neighbors, man. Goated. Now is the time where we have this conversation about who is the best receiver in the NFC East. All right, Malik Neighbors has entered the chat now. Malik Neighbors has entered the chat. I did my due diligence. I don't feel like I overcooked it. I don't feel like I rushed it. No, it's time to have that conversation now. And I would argue that Malik Neighbors is that guy. Just what we witnessed here, man. What we witnessed here from Malik Neighbors was an absolute viewing of goatness. He is him, man. He is him. And I would argue that honestly, we could have fed him more. We could have fed up Malik Neighbors more throughout that game. Just ultimately, just a phenomenal showing by Malik. I can't say that enough. Wan'Dale Robinson. This is why I say what I say. It's your guy who is never lying, sometimes defiant. Sometimes my takes are against the grain. Sometimes I may say the things that everybody else is not saying. It's like that sometimes. It's like that. But this is another player that I told Giant fans about of not just giving up on a Wan'Dale Robinson. If put in the proper scheme, if utilized correctly, Wan'Dale Robinson can look like something. I don't want to hear that he's too small crap. I don't want to hear that. He ain't too small. He may be too small for certain things, yes, okay. But he ain't too small to play this game, man. And it wasn't all perfect with Wandale. He had a drop early in the game. You know, he gave up on a corner route and late in the game that they kind of talked about. But ultimately, man, I told y'all, Wandale Robinson can be utilized as a threat. And he was just that, man. Another good showing by Wandale Robinson. And this is just what I want to see from him. I want to see consistency. There are some hiccups, of course, that I need Wandale to get in check. But ultimately, good game by Wandale Robinson. Darius Slayton, another decent game by Darius Slayton. Corners, again, holding on for dear life when it comes to Darius Slayton. Theo Johnson, a decent game by him. This offensive line, shout out to this offensive line, man. A much better showing than what we seen in week 1. It wasn't perfect, but I can live with this performance. Here. Good job, offensive line. Mike Kafka, you deserve a Funk Flex bomb. Making this New York Giant offense look like the New York Giant offense that it should have looked like in week 1. Well-balanced attack. My biggest knock is what I already mentioned. It's just the fact that I feel like we was overly trying to get Jackson Dart in the mix. I do see what he was doing. I'm not mad at, giving a different look, having a defense, second guess some things and things like. I'm not mad at that, but I feel like it got to a point to where it was like, okay, all right, we doing too much now. But overall, man, offensively, we put up 37 points. Ain't it crazy? And y'all want to tell me it's not coaching? Ain't it crazy how you go from not being able to get in the end zone once, and now you put up 37 points? Again, offensively, I can't really complain. We're still on good news here. Let's talk about this defense. Let's talk about somebody who I would argue. Matter of fact, I don't even do this on losses, man. But we're going to do it today, man. We got a soldier of the week that we're going to give it to, man. We got a soldier of the week, and I'm gonna give it to this guy.
We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready. We ready.
You could argue Malik Neighbors gets the Soldier of the Week. I'm not mad at that. You could argue Russell Wilson gets Soldier of the Week. I'm not mad at that. You could argue Cam Skedaddle gets Soldier of the Week. I'm not arguing that. I see Brian Burns in the chat. I couldn't be mad at that. But honestly, I got to give this week's Soldier of the Week, man, to Andrew Phillips. Man. This dude, man. That's why I talk the way I talk about Andrew Phillips. When I be having these conversations with these other, content creators and from these other fan bases, this is why I talk about Andrew Phillips the way I do, man. Phenomenal showing by Andrew Phillips today, man. I'm telling you, he go watch the tape if you don't believe me. If you don't know, go watch the tape. Andrew Phillips put on one hell of a game. Ultimately, defensively, I love the effort for a lot of the players on this defensive side of the ball, man. I really do. Brian Burns, 8. Kayvon Thibodeau is another one. Another one where I told y'all stop giving up on these players just too early. Kayvon Thibodeau was another one. Had himself a good game. Paulson Adebo. Listen, he had a hard task at hand, man. He did. He had a heavy task at hand. But I'm not too mad at Paulson Adebo. I'm not mad at Cordell Flott either. I'm not mad at these corners. That we know they had a hard task at hand. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb ain't nothing to sneeze at. Defensively, there are some names that I can honestly say, man, we could be something, man. For real, for real. We put it off of paper and onto the field this game. Javon Holland is another one. Good game. But now I feel like we have to dive into, and if I forgot some good, I will double back. But now we got to dive into the not so good. Now we have to dive into the not so good. If I had to point a finger as to why we lost this game and who was responsible for this, and I hate to say this like I'm just not going to hold accountable the players, but Coach Shane Bowen lost us this game. Lost us this game, man. Completely pathetic, man. Completely pathetic by Coach Shane Bowen. Let's just skip to the end of the game. We are in a position where you're just really you couldn't even picture the New York Giants losing the game after Malik did what he did. You just couldn't picture it. What does Coach Shane Bowen do? He put the softest ass zone in there and gives Dak Prescott enough time to make a whole fucking Subway sandwich before he throws the ball. The shit that we have been doing well all game, we just stopped doing in the most critical time of the game. The most critical time of the game. Our dogs was going to hunt. This is what they live for. This is what they live for. Ask anybody who plays the defensive line, especially the way we were playing. If they have a chance to end the game, you let them end the game. You go send them. Go send the dogs. Knowing that Dallas has a damn cheat code as a kicker. We just allowed them to easily march up the field. March up the field. We went straight back into the old ways of doing that bend but don't break bullshit. Bullshit. I said it all off season. I said it in week 1. And I'm going to say it again. Coach Shane Bowen literally has the easiest job on this team. He has the easiest job. But I really think this is ego-driven because I think he just wants credit to say that he did more than what he actually just needed to do. If it ain't broke, don't fix it again. There are easy things that we see, even as fans, that we could say, listen, all you have to do is A, B, and C, man. Let these dogs go hunt. Let this secondary play their game, and we could win this game. What does Coach Shane Bowen do? What does he do? He tucks his fucking tail. He tucks his tail. The hard part was already done. We did the hard part already. We did the hard part. And Coach Shane Bowen completely screwed us, man. Completely screwed us. I've seen enough of this guy, man. I absolutely seen enough of this guy. And I'm not going to hold back the fact, and I know this sounds loserish anytime that you bring refs into the outcome of the game. But I'm not going to watch what I just watched and not bring up the fact that these refs literally was part of Dallas's offense. Literally. Some of these calls was absolutely terrible, man. Absolutely terrible. If you watch this game, I don't care if you are a Dallas fan, if you a Giant hater, these refs, man, literally was something that we had to account for as well. That Jerry Jones money is serious. We playing physical defense. We're finally playing the type of defense that I like to see in blue. And we can't even really get into our bag because every single time there was a little bit of physicality, the referees step in and call some extra bullshit. Extra bullshit. CD and George Pickens at times were on lock, and the refs bailed their asses out. Bailed their asses out. I'm not going to sit here and act like the facts ain't the facts. I'm not going to sit here and act like that wasn't the case, because it was. On other not so good news, ladies and gentlemen, Abdul Carter, he knows how to get to the quarterback. He does. He does. But his tackling ability is in question. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We got to talk about it. His tackling ability is in question. It's a fact. He can get to the quarterback. He can make it tough for anybody on the offensive line. He could get around him. Oh, he specializes in that shit. But in the simple art of wrapping up and bringing a man down, man, Abdul's in question when it comes to tackling, man. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be 100% real with you. Deonte Banks. I've seen enough, man. I've seen enough. Deonte Banks goes in there and plays like he didn't get his fucking job taken. It is mind-blowing to me, man. It is mind-blowing to me. I've seen enough. As long as Cordell Flott is healthy, Cordell Flott should be in the game and stay in the game, and I'll be willing to live and die with whatever that result is. I'll be able to live and die with whatever that result is. I can't wait to look over the all-22 because there was a touchdown by the rushing game on Dallas. And you literally see just pathetic effort again by Deonte Banks. I'm not having this conversation no more. Sit his ass on the bench. Sit him on the bench. I'll live and die with whatever Cordell Flott goes out there and brings, man. Because at least with Cordell Flott, he's going to bring heart, intensity, and effort. At least he's going to bring that. So, yes, man, ultimately, man, it's just, I'm not going to lie, it does sting that we just can't find a way to beat these motherfuckers, man. It's truly sad, yo. It's truly sad. I'm not going to hold you. I really thought, who didn't think that we didn't have this one, man? We didn't have this one. The good thing I will say, though, if we brush up and build off of what we did today, ladies and gentlemen, it's not over. It's not over. No, sir. No, sir. It is not over if we could build off of what we did today. Let me pause real quick and talk about the obvious here. You know, you can't really see it. But the Fee 5-4 Fum tees, I was hoping to bring the Fee 5-4 Fum tees out on a Victory Monday. I wore this shirt today because I was on this type of time. I was on this type of time because I knew that the world didn't have us beating Dallas. I know how people look at the New York Giants. So the only thing that was getting me hyped up for this game, man, is the fact that I had that fee fi fo fum mentality, that why not us mentality. And overall, this was one hell of a game. One hell of a game. And I was hoping and wishing that we could have finished this thing out, man, and we could have had a victory Monday and tomorrow. And I wanted to release these tees on tomorrow. I'm not going to lie to you. It just doesn't feel right when you get to the season. It don't feel right releasing the tees after a loss. It just doesn't feel right. I want to release them after a win, but I'll let y'all decide, man. But this is the first colorway and the first tee that I am dropping. The Fee 5-4 Fum tees. Can't even see the full thing, man, but I had to bring it out today. Listen, if you are new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe right now. It ain't over. This season ain't over, ladies and gentlemen. It ain't over. It is not, man. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Please like this stream. If you are watching right now, please take the time to like the stream. It helps in major ways. But yes. This was tough, man. This was definitely tough, man, because ultimately we just seen so much good, man. So much good. That we just found a way, man, again, to just lose. Found a way. And it's not necessarily an effort thing. It's not necessarily a roster thing. It's all of these things, man, that it's we have it. We have it. I just feel like we just can't put it together, man. We just can't put it together. Coach Shane Bourne was a letdown. We were also, man, for the most part, an undisciplined football team today. Dallas didn't have to do much because we did it to ourselves. We looked like today was week 1. That's how we looked. Like, I would have been able to receive how we looked today last week versus Washington. I would have been able to move on a lot easier. But today it was just a lot of just undisciplined shit going on. And a lot of that was, yes, James Hudson. And James Hudson was absolutely terrible. I don't think I've ever seen that from any player. That was absolutely pathetic on what we seen from James Hudson. Trash. So, I mean, look, ultimately, man, I think we was in a situation to where we lost the game more than I feel like Dallas took over and won the game. I really do feel like that, man. And it just sucks, man. It really do. It sucks because this game was in the bag, man. This game was in the bag. And again, like I said when we first kicked this off, it's just we found ways. We found ways, man, to just lose this game. I don't know about y'all, man, but if we can build off of this game, we could beat Philly. I mean, if we build off of this game, there are a few teams that we have on this schedule, man, and I think that we can beat. I truly do, man. I truly do. The major thing that is in the way is us. Really this coaching staff, too. A lot of it is this coaching staff. It's so funny how, man, like can we just get two sides of the ball on the same page, man? Offensively, we absolutely kill. And then defensively, defensively, we just kind of shit the bed. And I'm not even saying that in the sense of like it was just terrible from our defense, because I don't think it was the case. I think, again, there was a lot of players that showed up. But under Shane Bowen's tutelage, we just ultimately just shit at the bed. Listen, man, I put the link in the chat, man, before I get on out of here. If anybody wants to chop it up before we call it a day, you know, I think I have another stream that I'm going to be doing with another New York Giant content creator later, I think. So if ultimately, man, this is just one of those like uncomfortable situations, man, where it's just like it could have been worse, and it is a terrible feeling, but also there's another side to it where I'm just like, you know what? I'm not too mad. So that's just it's tough, man. It's tough. It really is, man. It really is. One hell of a game, ultimately. One hell of a game. We put on a fucking show. And that's why I can't really spaz. I can't be too mad, man. I really can't. But it doesn't take away from the fact, man, that this shit just sucked, man. But all in all, man, look. New York Giants salute to each and every one of you, man. And this is definitely a hard pill to swallow. Us, you know, starting this thing off 0-2. But we gotta build off of this, man. That's just the main thing. We gotta build off of this. That's it, man. And look, where do we go from here? Who is to say? Who is to say? Where do we go from here? But what I can say is, you out of your damn mind if you think I'm kneeling down. You out of your damn mind if you think I'm just giving up right now, man. After what I seen today, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna see it through. As tough for this position that we are in, man. Hey, I think we can build off of what we did today, man. New York Giants salute to each and every one of you. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for rocking with me. B5, Fo-Fum. Tough. I'll holler at y'all when I holler at y'all. Peace.
AKA lion, AKA tiger, how we swinging nine, walking through the fire, certified pioneer. Keep applying pressure to the foes, going closer than I appear, closer than my abyss. Keep the way the giant here.